Hey everyone, this is Carrie. Thank you very much for watching our video training series for eggPlant Functional. This is the first of 2 videos where I show how to write basic automation scripts. In this video, I'll create an example script automating against a web app. Before starting scripting, I did a few things. First, I ran through the workflow I want to automate a few times manually in the eggPlant Functional viewer. This allowed me to perfect the workflow and assess its complexity. I found the workflow entailed simply clicking through a number of buttons, links, and menus, and filling out some account credentials. I didn't have to worry about any more complex actions like scrolling or reading values from the screen. Ahead of time, I also worked out a naming convention for my images, which you'll see me using throughout this training. Because my workflow is so simple and I've never captured any images of the UI elements involved in this workflow before, I've decided I'm going to use a turbo capture session to record my workflow. Turbo capture sessions record your actions and associated screenshots for your set, as you manually step through your workflow. At the end of the workflow, you will refine the turbo capture session so that eggPlant Functional can generate it into a script. Because I practiced my workflow earlier, I made some decisions about how to perform certain actions. For example, instead of tabbing to the password field, I clicked on it. Once I've recorded the session, I still need to turn it into an eggPlant Functional script. I need to adjust the capture area for each step of the session, making sure to exclude any parts of the UI that don't matter to my test. In addition, I'll be naming my images according to my predetermined naming convention. In this case, I'm using a prefix to denote what kind of UI element the image represents. I'll advance through each step of the session, naming and refining images as needed. With this second image, I'll also need to adjust the search type to text, to match the fact that the captured image is of a text element. And I also need to indicate a max weight, so that eggPlant gives this image a little extra time to appear before my script times out. I'll follow a similar methodology with the login link image. I'm going to handle this image of the email field a bit differently. Instead of capturing an image of the field itself, I'm going to move the capture area over to the unique email label. Notice how the red hotspot is staying where the field is located. When my script later searches for this image, it will search for the label, but click on the area to the right of the label where the hotspot is located. Once I've refined all of the steps in the recording, I'll click Generate, which captures and names all of the images I need for my automation script. Here's what the generated script looks like. I can make some initial edits as desired, such as adding an author to the comments. Even though my script was generated from a recording of my actions, I still need to debug this script, looking for any issues with my automation. I'll start with some basic debugging simply by running the script and seeing how things go. The first problem I see is that it seems that even though my script clicked on the electronics menu link, my application is now on the main page. Watching this out closely as the script executed showed that there wasn't enough of a pause between clicking on the login button and clicking on the electronics menu. What I can do is use the logout link image as an additional checkpoint. I'll add a wait for command into my script that waits for the logout link to appear after clicking the login button. Waiting for the logout link image makes sure that my script has successfully logged in before the script proceeds. After running my script a few more times, I also noticed that there wasn't an adequate pause between removing the search filter and closing the web browser. I'd like a way to check whether the filter was removed but not have to halt execution if it wasn't successful. I'll accomplish this type of validation by capturing an image of a UI element that is only present when the filter is not active. I'll set up a conditional statement that checks for the presence of that image, and if the image isn't found within 10 seconds, it'll log error, which marks my script as a failure but allows the execution to continue. I'll run my script a few more times to debug it fully. However, I'm careful not to script around all issues my application is having. The goal of automated testing isn't to have a script that successfully runs from beginning to end every time, but to have a script that can catch issues with the behavior or performance of your application. Before writing any additional scripts for this app, I need to stop and think about whether my current approach to scripting is scalable. I'll teach you about making your scripting approach scalable in the upcoming video on modularization and parameterization. If you need more help with debugging, please tune in for our upcoming video on the topic. Thanks for watching this video.